It was a sunny Monday afternoon in Miami when I first laid eyes on Ryan. After 6 months of texting, late-night calls, and video chats, we finally decided to meet in person. We chose a luxurious five-star oceanfront hotel in South Beach, our little secret escape. I felt butterflies in my stomach, a mix of nerves and excitement. Something inside me said this was going to be special. As I waited in the hotel lobby, I saw him walk through the glass doors, tall, confident, and wearing that same smile I had fallen for through a screen. Our eyes locked, and everything around us faded. He walked straight up, gently took my hand, and whispered, "You're even more stunning in person." We checked into our suite, room 1708, facing the sparkling sea. The entire room smelled of fresh roses, and the balcony opened to an endless view of the ocean. That first evening, we had a candlelight dinner on the rooftop. The wind played with my hair as soft jazz played in the background. I looked into his eyes and realized I was falling deeper than I ever planned to. Later, in our room, the connection became even stronger. We talked for hours, no filters, no pretending. He held my hand as I shared my past, my fears, my dreams. He listened like no one ever had. That night, wrapped in his arms, I felt peace I never knew I needed. On Tuesday, we explored the city together. We rode bikes along Ocean Drive, shared ice cream from a street cart, and even danced barefoot on the beach as the sun set behind us. It felt like a movie. Every smile, every touch, it was all so genuine. I kept asking myself, how did I get so lucky? But then, that night, everything changed. As we sat on the balcony under the stars, Ryan's phone rang. He froze. "I have to tell you something," he said, his voice suddenly serious. My heart sank. He continued, "There's someone I've been trying to forget. Someone I thought I had moved on from. But just now she called. She's here in Miami. And I didn't expect it to hit me this hard." I was speechless. The dream bubble burst in seconds. Tears welled up in my eyes, but I stayed quiet. He looked genuinely torn, regretful. "You deserve the truth," he said, "and you deserve someone who's completely yours." That night, we slept on opposite sides of the bed. By Wednesday morning, he had packed and left before sunrise. He left a note that read, "No matter what happens, these 2 days with you were real. You made me feel alive again. I hope you find someone who gives you the love you gave me so freely." I sat alone on the same balcony where we had laughed just hours earlier. It was heartbreaking, but I didn't regret a second. Because sometimes, love stories aren't meant to last forever. Sometimes, they're just meant to remind us what real love feels like. 3 months passed since Ryan walked out of that Miami hotel room and left only a note behind. Every day since felt like walking through fog, knowing something magical happened, but also knowing it ended without closure. I tried to move on, but memories of those 2 perfect days haunted me. His laughter, that look in his eyes, his warmth, and that sudden, painful goodbye. I returned to New York, buried myself in work, avoided dating, and deleted our pictures, but never deleted his number. Then, on a random Thursday afternoon, while I was sipping coffee at a cafe near Central Park, my phone vibrated. The screen flashed his name. Ryan calling. My heart skipped. I didn't answer at first. I stared at it. He called again. And again. Finally, I picked up. His voice was shaky, barely above a whisper. "I'm outside your building. I need to talk." I froze. Why now? When I got downstairs, I saw him. He looked the same, but his eyes held a sadness I'd never seen before. He reached for my hand, but I stepped back. "Why are you here, Ryan?" He took a deep breath. "Because everything I said in that note was a lie. I didn't leave because of someone else. I left because I was scared." I narrowed my eyes. "Scared of what?" He swallowed hard. "Scared of how real it was with you. I've never felt that kind of connection. It felt too good to be true. So I ran." I didn't know whether to cry or scream. He continued, "But 3 months without you has been torture. I kept hearing your voice, seeing your face in strangers. I tried to forget you, but I can't. I messed up. And if there's even the slightest chance you still feel something, I need to try. I turned away, tears already slipping down my cheeks. I wanted to forgive him, but the wound was still fresh. He walked closer. There's one more thing you don't know. That woman who called me in Miami? She wasn't the ex. She was my half-sister. I had just found out about her 2 days before we met. She wanted to meet me, but I didn't want to ruin our time. When she finally called again, I panicked. I didn't know how to tell you. I turned sharply. You lied to me? I hid the truth, he said softly. But I didn't cheat, and I didn't lie about what I felt for you. Please believe that. The silence between us was heavy. Then, I asked the question I'd held inside for months. Why didn't you come back sooner? He took out his phone and showed me a video. It was a recording of him in the hospital. His arm in a cast, bruises on his face. I got into a car accident 2 days after I left Miami, he said. I was hospitalized for weeks. I nearly died. And while I was lying there, all I could think about was you. The world spun around me. Everything I thought I knew shattered. Tears streamed down my face as I walked forward and wrapped my arms around him. We stood in silence for minutes. That night, Ryan and I walked side by side through the city. The cold air couldn't reach us. We were warm in each other's presence again. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He just held my hand like he never wanted to let go again. 2 weeks later, we returned to the same hotel in Miami. Same room, 1708. But this time, there were no secrets, no fears, just two hearts that found their way back to each other. As I stood on the same balcony, looking at the sea, Ryan walked up behind me, kissed my shoulder, and whispered, "Forever starts here." I turned around and smiled, because sometimes love leaves. But if it's real, it always finds its way home.